the Lawyers and Podcast Show. Tonight on the Lawyers and Podcast Show, we're talking about Jim Crow Joe Biden. You know, his one of his favorite slaves, Clyburn, Jim Clyburn from South Carolina, said we should stick with the nominee. We should stick with the nominee. So, but they are celebrities like George Clooney is, calling for Biden to step down. Plus, the breaking news from about the Trump assassination attempt on his life when he was in a rally in Pennsylvania. Who was Thomas Matthews Crooks? We also be talking about a lot of things here and how the 2024 election could hurt Biden because his black support is gone. And so now Jim Crow Joe basically don't have the illegal immigrants anymore to help him because he was basically giving them all of the money and all of the resources. And his base, specifically black people, are like, well, what did you do for us? We're asking that question. So tonight on the Lawyers and Podcast Show, we'll talk about it, and we'll continue to talk about other people who is calling for Biden to step aside, and plus Trump assassination attempt. All of this coming up on the Lloyd Henderson Podcast Show. Let's get it. Yes. Laurie Henderson Podcast Show is live. Donald Trump is now soaring in the polls after a assassination attempt. Also, Senator J.D. Vance is who he chose to be his running mate as vice president, the senator from Ohio. And so we'll be talking more about this and also talking about how more celebrities are calling for Joe Biden to step down. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the Lawyer Henderson Podcast Show. I'm your host, Lawyer Henderson. Yeah, man, it's a lot of people calling for Joe Biden to step down. As like I said, Donald Trump is soaring in the polls. There was an assassination attempt at his rally in Pennsylvania. Then he just basically, like I said, announced his running mate, J.D. Vance. And so, but we'll talk about that a little bit tonight. But first, we're going to be talking about Clyburn. Clyburn, basically, before this happened, before Donald Trump elected his running mate and before his assassination attempt, Clyburn was talking about how the Democrats should stand behind Joe Biden. He is the nominee. Okay. And so fair use from the Associated Press, Steve's people, I'll give him credit here. We'll start the article off and then we'll go back into what's going on today. And what's going on with all the other stuff going on surrounding Donald Trump and all these other people. And the Republicans are mobilized. The Democrats are disorganized. They all over the place. And it's looked like that Donald Trump is going to be the president again. And mainly because Joe Biden's base is not there. And Clyburn and D.L. Hughley and Kamala Harris and all these other people, they're asking the black people, why are you not coming out to support us and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's simple. You ain't done a damn thing for us, right? But the Associated Press, I'll give them credit, on July the 3rd, 2024, they started off, with an article at the Associated Press. And it says here, Clyburn discussion of a mini primary fuels more talk, or rather Biden should end his campaign. Okay, they were talking about how having a Zoom call meeting at the Democratic convention, meaning there's not going to be a lot of chairs, that you're going to be filling up at this convention here. Okay. He is often credited as the man who delivered the Democratic nomination to Joe Biden with a pivotal endorsement 4 years ago. Okay. Clyburn, a Biden campaign co-chair, outlined a process to replace Biden during an interview with CNN should Biden step aside. Clyburn said he expects a mini primary featuring Vice President Kamala Harris, governors, and others in the run-up to the Democratic National Convention in August. You can actually fashion the process that's already in place to make it mini primary, and I will support that, said Clyburn, who also spoke to Biden on Wednesday in a conversation his office refused to disclose. Now, they already know that they're in trouble with the black vote here, okay? They already know that the black vote is not going to basically swing for Biden, okay? I just told you, what did Joe Biden do for black people, which is his most loyal supporters? Clyburn's decision to spell out and in detail as how Biden must be replaced was viewed as a clarion call by some top donors, party insiders, and even members of Biden campaign, who increasingly believe that the 81-year-old president will be forced to step aside following a debate performance that shook the party's confidence in the ability to defeat Republican former President Donald Trump in November. Okay, now they're already panicking here. Okay, they're already saying here, there's no way that Biden is going to beat this man. Like I said, the Republicans are organized. They basically are ready to go out and support their nominee. The Democrats, like I said, is in disarray. They are in trouble here. You see, the extraordinary remarks echoed throughout the private conversation of donors, Democratic National Committee members, and even Biden's campaign staff, according to multiple participants who spoke on the conditions of anonymity that share sensitive discussion. In response to Clyburn's latest comments, at least one member of Biden's Finance Committee predicted that the president would not survive the political crisis. Okay? Now, they already warned Biden, hey, man, you gotta basically either step aside and let somebody else take the nomination because you're not gonna win this. You don't have the support. Your electoral votes are not going to be enough for you to score a win against Donald Trump. You gotta step aside, and let somebody else take over. Indeed, the conversation among many insiders have been the shift from whether Biden should stay in the race to the logistics of his departure. Clyburn's spokesman, Brianna Ferris, later claimed that he was responding to a hypothetical question and not trying to restart the nomination contest. Well, here's the thing. You see, now the Democrats Okay, of course, people are going to say, well, they got to August for the convention. That's right around the corner, September, and then you got November, right? Which is the election. Now they're coming out saying that Joe Biden, which basically he basically in his interview with Lester Holt, you saw him, trying to go off on Lester over there. You like, what are you people talking about? What do you mean? I mean, he didn't say what are you people talking about, but he was upset from um, a liberal media that was just asking him questions, is he still fit to serve? And you see, as if you go back and look at the interview, he was basically getting real raunchy there, wasn't he? A stubborn old white man. You got two stubborn old white men who want to be president here. He says he was not calling for many primary, Francis said. Instead, he was explaining the existing process. The congressmen fully support this president at the top of the ticket and will be irresponsible to report anything otherwise. Now, I want to scroll down here from the article here, and I want to show you how the reports is already saying that it looks like Donald Trump is the winner here. Trump had slight lead. Now, this is before his assassination attempt here. Trump had a slight lead over Biden in two polls of voters conducted after debate. But one of the polls concluded by SSRS for CNN found that 3/4 of voters, including more than half of the Democrats, voters said the party has a chance of winning the presidency, and now with a candidate other than Biden. And 7 and 10 voters and 45% of Democrats said that Biden's physical and mental ability is a reason to vote again for him. That's what that poll is, but Meanwhile, increasing numbers of the Democratic officials believe that Harris should be favored to replace Biden. Those involved in private discussion also acknowledged that California Governor Gavin Newsom and Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer remain viable alternatives. Now, we mentioned this in the last video essay about these other alleged nominees, or potential nominees, I should say. Who out of these people basically though have the charisma to move the party base there? You see, they have not named one. Kamala Harris is not a favorite, and like I said, Gavin Newsom may be okay, but he needs the vice president to get more people on. He needs a vice president who has charisma, because he's not going to do it alone here. But for some insiders, Harris is viewed as the only nominee who would qualify to unify the party and avoid a messy and a divisive convention fight. Okay. In other words, they're going to go to the convention with problems, ain't they? Clyburn, who described Biden's debate performance as concerning, said in an MSNBC interview on Tuesday that he would support Harris if Biden was to step aside. This party should not in any way do anything to work around Ms. Harris, Clyburn said. We should do everything we can to boost her, or rather she's in second place or at the top of the ticket. Meanwhile, the Trump campaign checked on the Democratic dysfunction and statement predicting victory. You see, the Trump campaign is basically watching this, and the Trump campaign see the disorganization that the Democrats are going through here, right? It says President Trump will beat, this is a person who said that President Trump will win here. What's his name? He said President Trump will beat any Democrat on November the 5th, because he has a proven track record and agenda to make America great again, said senior advisors Chris LaCivita and Susie Wiles. Susie Wiles. Now, see, they're coming, the Republicans are coming hard, as I said, and I mentioned. But that is a huge problem for the Democrats. Now that you had like George Clooney, a major Hollywood star who basically helped fundraise for Joe Biden, is also now saying that he should step aside. Texas Representative Lloyd Duggan is also calling for Biden to step down. Andrew Yang is calling for Biden to step down. Donna's call on Biden to drop out of the race. Kamala Harris quietly meet with D.L. Hughley, Roland Martin to discuss the setting of more black voters and if black voters are going to come and try to help assure the support. And the problem with that is that they only need our help when they're in trouble. Now, as we already know, and throughout the whole entire black media, we asked the question as to what did the Democrats do for us the last 4 years? Remember, we already went through this, countless and countless of time, that there has not been a black agenda. And so now Joe Biden is in trouble because he basically was listening to these. I mean, he was basically wanting to get these illegal immigrants over here. They are in black neighborhoods. They're in black communities. They're taking resources from us, the little resources that the white government give us. And now there's an issue here. And so now Jim Crow Joe and Kamala Harris is in trouble. Okay, to galvanize the black vote is now becoming an issue because, see, the old civil rights generation basically was tricked like that. The younger black generation is not going to fall for the games. They did not have a policy for the black community and the black voters, and now they're running to the black celebrities as they often do. But now the white celebrities are saying that Biden should step aside, like I said, George Clooney. And you should have seen him on X, formerly Twitter, going off on George Clooney. He need to shut up, He need to be quiet. He don't need to step down, blah, 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 blah. You've seen it. Okay. So here's a Hollywood actor who's telling you, listen, I campaigned for this man, but he basically is not only not fit to serve, but he is getting up in age, and now they're saying, well, it's too late to get a nominee. Yes, he won the nomination, of course, but he's going to be in trouble with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is basically energized, and after his surviving the assassination attempt, his base cannot be more united. When we come back from our short music break, we'll go into detail about it. You've been listening to the Lawyer Henderson Podcast Show. You've been listening to the Lawyer Henderson Podcast Show. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments. Screw to have me on a permanent shadow ban. And they said, nigga, you're not going to get no part of our algorithm. You're not going to get nothing. Okay. I said, okay. We're talking about how Clyburn and the Democrats are basically trying to shore up support for Joe Biden after he has fallen in the polls. And I told you in the other last video commentary that this time black men are going to determine the presidential elections this time around. Okay, in 2024, the black man said he stand on the couch because neither Republicans nor Democrats had often anything for black people in general. And a lot of talk on the internet, of course, about why we should vote as a bloc instead of being loyal to the Democratic Party. You've been listening to the Lloyd Henderson podcast show. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Now, why is black man determining to stay home or possibly vote for Republicans this time around? That's because the Democrats have basically lied, as I said earlier. They have basically shown they ass, so to speak, and is basically got these legal immigrants taking small increments out of our reparations money. You see, that's one part of it. Second part is that Joe Biden stabbed us in the back. He never, ever had our back. And this is why we are basically waking up to the realization that the benign and neglect policies that the Democrats and Republicans have used for years after Daniel Monahan report that came out in the early 70s are not working anymore. The younger black generation is putting an end to their benign neglect policy. But back here, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about what basically is motivating the Trump campaign to basically now, make it, what is motivating them to be so organized against the Democrats this time around. And it's not just that they believe that the 2020 election was stolen, which is why that there was insurrection. But his base, Donald Trump's base, is really pretty much ready to put him back into the White House. And then after this assassination attempt by this guy, Thomas Matthew Crooks of Pennsylvania, his base could not be more united. And then the announcement of his vice president running mate, Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio. Okay, so now he's ready to go out there, and they're basically ready. Now, don't get me wrong, because Senator J.D. Vance is not a person who is popular, but he basically is going to he's not going to, confront, Donald Trump. He's not going to challenge Donald Trump. He made some crazy comments in the past, but Trump likes certain types of people who don't challenge him. And that's who, J.D. Vance is, And like I said, his base is reassuring itself that they basically will win the White House here. And so, J.D. Vance is almost like a Mike Pence in a way, but not really, Both of them are boring white men, and they don't have like any charisma. And that's how Donald Trump like it, because he wants all the attention. So I think that he'll be very, very good. When I was coming on, people kept on asking me about this Project 2025. This is a no-burger. This is a nothing burger. Do not focus on this Project 2025. This is another way to try to scare black people and to say, yeah, y'all vote for the Republicans and y'all gonna be put back in change. No, this Project 2025 is a nothing burger. There's a bunch of policies that these conservatives have came up with, where they're going to try to do what they've been doing already, and that is just to to go to the law books, pass certain types of laws, and they're going to increase membership of the Federalist Society on the circuit courts benches. Listen, all of this stuff could be, done if a Democrat was in office as well. Okay, because like I said, Black people, we've been in this country for 225 or 230 years or whatever, and we know how these white folks operate. Okay, so there should be no kind of scare tactic like Project 2025 that should scare you about it. It's nothing. This is another Democratic pull or game. The liberal media trying to scare you into voting for Biden. Okay, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a scare tactic. These are scare tactics that they've used on Black people before, got us all emotional and scared. And like in the 2020 election, that's where we went out there and we started to vote because we were scared. We had Negroes out there, we got, we got to go on down to the polls now. You got to go on down to the polls because see if Trump get back in there, Lord, we're going to put them back in change down. You go, you know what I'm saying? Shoot. Y'all better come on down here and vote for Joe Biden. So you got those type of Negroes out there scared, And this is what they're trying to do again. And the scare tactics are not working. Now, this is coming from the left media, okay? This Project 2025, okay? We've already seen what the Republicans, as far as a conservative Supreme Court, had already done by getting rid of affirmative action and other types of policies they've already passed while a liberal Democrat was in office, okay? But do George Clooney have a point here? Isn't it that he's right? Oh, well, I should ask this: do he have a right, along with other celebrities? We often think that celebrities should, celebrities always get into the politics. They do this all the time because politicians may need them to, to promote them a little bit more. But of course, we're not, as Black people, listening to our Black celebrities here, of course, at all. D.L. Hughley and, Steve Harvey, who's met with Kamala Harris, all the bootlicks like Roland Martin, all these people are scared and afraid that they could not galvanize the Black vote this time around. They are upset now that they basically have been trying to do a lot for the Democrats, could not show what the Democrats have done. And Black people said, you know what, we're staying at home. Some of us are voting for Donald Trump. Some of us are voting for the other candidates like Cornel West or whoever. But we're not going to the polls to vote out of scare tactics anymore. You understand? What can these folks do to us that they have already not have done? Okay? Which they've already put us in chain already, okay? And so now you got the Democrats in crisis. And Clyburn basically could not galvanize the South Carolina voters this time around. In fact, I thought that he was going to retire here, when he is up for re-election. So Clyburn is out of the race anyway, because these old Negroes are not going to be calling the shots for the Democrats anymore. They're going to have a huge problem now, okay? They can no longer punk the younger generation as they did the civil rights generation here. Kamala Harris basically is not going to do it. She can't galvanize a Black vote because she basically, one minute she's saying, I'm a Black girl. The other one, she's an Indian woman. It's like, no, we're done. We're good. Roly-poly Martin won't be able to help this time around either. You see, the 2020 election, like I said, Black people was scared. They were told to be frightened. Get your booty to the polls. No. This time around, The black man is making the decision, okay? And this is what these white men know. They know that black men are making a decision to stay home. And we're going to now force these candidates to give us tangible benefits. You see what I'm saying? So this time around, it's different. The 2020 election, oh, you heard the black girl magic stuff. No, 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 no. No, we're not playing this game this time around. We're going to force these people to do something. We're going to put Donald Trump back in office only for him to get these illegal immigrants out of our neighborhoods. But still yet, he has to have a black agenda. Okay? We're moving the needle a little bit regarding who we're going to sponsor this time around, so that the black vote won't be taken for granted from the Democratic Party here. Okay? And so now, since the Democrats are in crisis and their black bootleg flunkies can't help them, now you see the rise of Republicans and Donald Trump coming back to basically take the rim of the presidency. We love it, we love it, we love it. That will teach the Democrats, you got to have a black agenda. But that doesn't let the Republicans off the hook either. The Republicans must do something for black people as well. Any candidate, any politician must basically tell a constituency what they're going to do for you, or you don't have to basically vote for them. Voting is a transactional situation. It's not that you just give somebody a vote and go home. No, no, no. What is on the agenda? What are you going to do for my family, my people, my constituency? That's what government is supposed to do. Not deny and neglect you. Not give groups of other people and other races, monies and resources that they're not entitled to. The federal laws basically do not give any illegal immigrants the right of automatic citizenship, and nor do they give them the right for any kind of resources and money. Okay? But with these white and I say so policies, I'm white and I say so policies, these white folks in Washington and these politicians in general have gone crazy ever since Jim Crow Joe has been the president. And at this time, now it's time to turn the needle here. And as more and more black folks said that they're going to stay home and they don't care if Donald Trump win or not, basically, at least with the Republicans, we know what we're getting, okay? The Republicans are going to say, we're not going to give you niggers anything. And that's how we like it. We like our racism on the black grassroots. We like it basically straight up. And that's what Malcolm taught us as well. Malcolm taught us, he said, I would rather to basically, talk to a man who let me, and I'm paraphrasing, he basically want to know from a man, he respect a man, that let him know where he stands instead of, basically trying to believe some dude who is going to smile in your face. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm talked about the wolf and the fox, didn't he? He said that fox, he said that wolf, you can see him, the fox, he'll smile in your face. So no, we understand what's going on now. And so now, since the old civil rights generation are dying out, there is nothing that they can do basically now to scare us no more. The younger black generation basically are really educated here, and they're more organized. Mm-hmm. Podcast show. Listen, like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to leave your comments. You might disagree. That's fine. But I'm just letting you know that I think Donald Trump got this. I think he's going to win. And I think, that the Democrats are in trouble. The Democrats can do at this point, because they have turned their back on their most loyal base. And you would have expected that, okay? You would have expected that, because that's how the liberals have been doing it for years. And now black people are finally waking up. We're holding politicians responsible, and they hate that. They hate that. Okay, like I said, the black man is going to determine this election this time around. Lawyer Henderson's live.